You're ambitious but lazy. You've got all these big goals, the dream career, the dream house, the ideal or best version of yourself, and you keep stalling. You can see it so clearly in your mind, the friends, the freedom, the life that finally feels like it's yours. But every time you try start the big goal, or the big vision that you have, you feel frozen or stuck or just unable to really move and get the momentum going. And I get it because I used to think it meant I was broken or I just wasn't able to actually do what everyone else seemed to be able to do. I thought if I really cared, I'd already be doing it or I'd be on my way. But that's not true. Ambitious but lazy isn't a character flaw, it's a bit of a psychological trap. And once you understand why it occurs and what's really happening, you can finally start digging yourself out of that hole and escape it. Not with any large, massive changes, but with small, steady moves. All right, let me tell you a quick story. There was a time I had the most detailed calendar slash vision board slash Pinterest board slash probably like 15 different Instagram folders with like thousands of saved posts about quotes from really successful people, beach houses, like color coded planners that felt and looked like success. But if you looked at my actual life and what I was doing, I wasn't really enjoying it and I wasn't accomplishing the things that I wanted to do. Nothing was really moving, and I spent hours planning my dreams instead of starting to figure out how to actually do them and then doing them. And the craziest part is the more ambitious I became, the less I actually did. And it didn't make much sense at all, as you can probably hear. Until I learned that ambition, when handled wrong, can actually paralyze you. And when you keep envisioning your ideal self, the healthy, wealthy, confident version of you, your brain starts comparing it to the current you. And the gap feels it feels unbearable. Your mind goes, wow, look at how far away that big dream is. Like what's the point, you know? So you procrastinate. Not because you're lazy, but because your ambition just feels too big to the point where it just cripples you, it suffocates you, and that's the trap. It feels way too heavy to lift, so you just don't lift anything at all and you hope for the best. Your goals become so big that they literally crush your ability to stop. Your mind goes, wow, look at how far away that big dream is. Like what's the point, you know? So you procrastinate. Not because you're lazy, but because your ambition just feels too big to the point where it just cripples you, it suffocates you, and that's the trap. It feels way too heavy to lift, so you just don't lift anything at all and you hope for the best. Your goals become so big that they literally crush your ability to stop. Not surprisingly, there is a name that psychologists have for this. It's when you feel ambitious but you can't move. It's not laziness. It's usually a mix of a few different things. The first one is when you're chasing goals that don't truly matter to you. They sound impressive, they sound cool, they sound like they might get you to where you need to go, but it is probably not the case. And this is the motivational misfit. The first thing that I worked on was re anchoring my goals to intrinsic motives. So if your goal is to impress people, it will drain you. There is almost no point in having a goal that you feel you need to do or achieve because it's what's expected of you, or it's what you're trying to achieve because of someone else. You want to make it so that your goal is so that you're expressing yourself. It should fuel you. So the way you choose your goals is very important. Your brain is going to sustain effort only when you feel autonomous, competent, and connected to what you're actually trying to do. So instead of saying things like, oh, I want to get fit so I look good, you want to say things like, I want to feel strong. Instead of, I want to be super rich, what is being super rich actually getting you? And you might say, I want the freedom to create a life where I can spend time with my family often. Re anchoring your goals in the right fire can make the biggest difference. Now, the second thing is shrinking the task that you're trying to do so that it isn't as big as Mount Everest. Start with something small. If your goal is to learn how to swim, you don't want to jump into the pool right away with a bunch of gear because you will drown. And you probably won't attempt it ever again. Maybe just start with opening a YouTube video on how to swim or booking that lesson in so you can take that first small step. Alternatively, if your goal is to learn a new instrument, keep that instrument nearby and start with something super small instead of diving right in and picking it up and trying to play like one of the hardest songs in the whole world. Start with something really easy that you know you're definitely going to be able to achieve because it is at in a good bite-sized amount. The tiny steps you take will raise your expectancy and your belief that you can actually do that thing. If you take on a huge task that you know is going to be super difficult for you to achieve, it's just going to increase the likelihood that you're ever going to visit that thing again. And the belief of you being able to do the thing that you're trying to do is what's going to keep you going long term. Now, the third thing is to reduce the friction. So, you want to make doing the right thing or the thing that you want to accomplish super easy. It should be the easiest option. For example, if you're trying to um, if you're trying to like be more consistent at the gym, keep your gym bag right by the door, already packed the night before. Don't wait till 3 minutes before you actually need to leave to get to the gym to start getting ready. If you're studying, keep your phone in another room to keep you less distracted. In fact, put all of your stuff that's going to distract you into another room because that's what's going to reduce the friction and get you into the flow. Because discipline, it isn't about forcing yourself. Forcing yourself to do anything is horrible. Like, there's good often in life there's going to be hard things that you have to do, but if this is an ambition or a goal that you really want to achieve, you don't want to have to be like forcing yourself every single day to do something in an incredibly hard way, because discipline isn't about forcing yourself to do the hardest, most huge thing ever. It's about designing your environment so you don't need to force yourself, because forcing yourself to do anything is it can never be fun. It's definitely not sustainable, and it's not the best way to go about building this long term achievement. So, no, you're not lazy. You're just ambitious, overloaded, and stuck in the illusion of having to be perfect the first time you do something. You think you need to make those big, huge moves to get huge results. But the thing is, you only need to make small moves consistently every single day. Now, the thing is, the progress, it will be invisible at first. And that's why a lot of people quit. Because if you're only taking small moves at the start, you'll see very small results, or maybe more, maybe no results at all. But those small moves will compound over time. Imagine if you did it for 20 days, 30 days, 50 days. One day, someone's going to recognize and realize, if not you yourself, and you'll laugh because all you really did was show up every single day for 5 minutes, which in the grand scheme of things doesn't actually seem like a lot of effort. So, if you've been stuck, waiting to feel ready, just stop. Start small, stay stubborn, forget perfect, and just chase being consistent, because ambition isn't your curse, it's your compass. You just have to learn to walk with it one step at a time.